Good. I'd like to welcome everyone to the March 30th, 2017 meeting of the Delaware County Board of Commissioners. If everyone would please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. I'm Jeff Benton, President of the Board of Commissioners. To my left is Gary Merrill, Vice President of the Board. And to my right is our County Administrator, Farzan Ahmed, and Sarah DeNova, our clerk, is running the meeting today. So let's start.
Resolution number 17-299, in the matter of the... See, this is what happens when I'm in charge. In the matter of approving the electronic record of the proceeding from regular meeting held March 27th, 2017.
So moved.
Second, discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 17-299. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
We do have public comment this morning from Harold Wolford.
That's your cue, Harold.
You know, Harold, I didn't even recognize you coming in. I looked over and said hi. Your cat bit over your eyes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gary.
There we go. It is Harold under that cap. I recognize it.
The reason we're here is I know you guys get a lot of rocks thrown at you and not thanked enough. So we're here to say a little thank you. Today, I guess for the final time, is Vietnam Veterans Day in Ohio, and it was first established in 2012 as the 50th anniversary Welcome Home for Vietnam Veterans. Legislation Congress passed and signed by President Obama. At that point, they allowed the different states to establish their day. Ohio chose the 30th. Other states chose the 29th, somewhere in June. But as of yesterday, that has all changed because there was new legislation signed by President Trump that makes March 29th the official permanent National Vietnam Veterans Day. So the entire country has the same day at all times. And the significance of March 29th is the anniversary of when the combat troops and support troops were withdrawn from South Vietnam in 1973. So, in our chapter, Vietnam Veterans Chapter 295 was chartered in 2014. In 2015, our Board of Officers and Directors established what we call a Certificate of Appreciation that we present to individuals and businesses that show an exceptional support to our chapter or the veteran community. And I would like to note that very few of these certificates have been awarded since their inception. The chapter's board considers recommendations from members within our chapter, and a majority of the board must agree on the recipient for a certificate to be awarded. So it's something that is near and dear to us. So, in honor of Vietnam Veterans Day, we are doing a tribute ceremony this Sunday on the courthouse lawn that you guys approved our access to it. That's at 2 o'clock. We will invite you and the general public to attend. Probably be 30 minutes, maybe a little longer. It's not a big deal, but it's a little history lesson in Vietnam and a welcome home for Vietnam veterans. And I would like to thank you guys for allowing us to come here and present this to you. This certificate is presented to the Commissioners Jeff Benton, Barb Lewis, and Gary Merrill on behalf of the Vietnam Veterans America Chapter 1095, Delaware, Ohio, in appreciation for your service, dedication, and continued support to the veteran community of Delaware County. Your service to veterans and the community to recognize and promote individual veterans and their service, along with veteran service groups, is honored. So, thank you.
Thank you. Take yours to-
Yeah.
Do we get a photo with
Get a
it?
picture?
Have a-
And we've got these pins, we do for veterans and stuff.
I'll wear it Sunday.
Oh, wow. Great.
And I'll wear it today after.
Very nice.
Here's a book thing, guys.
Don't be shy.
They won't bite you.
I do have a couple comments. We got to come up here.
Yeah, we'll wait for comments.
Gentlemen, over there. What? Used to work together at ODOT. Go right ahead. Go ahead.
The comments I want to make, I think the Vietnam veterans, as we all know, were kind of overlooked and acknowledged in their service to the country. And you made a statement, Harold, that I know you said it for humility and that the ceremony Sunday is not a big deal, but it is a big deal. It's an opportunity for the people here in Delaware County to say thank you and to show support. So I know you said it for all the right reasons, but I want to clarify from the perspective of someone who appreciates the service that all Vietnam veterans throughout the country, and of course in Delaware County, thank you very much.
And I would like to echo that. I mean, giving us a certificate of appreciation really is kind of the reverse of what we ought to be doing. I mean, you guys, the veterans in general, and Vietnam veterans in particular, did so much for the country, and have, as Commissioner Merrill said, really have not received the recognition you all deserve. So it's great, and we sincerely thank you and look forward to the ceremony on Sunday. So again, we look forward to continuing to help you with your group and your issues. I know there's some other things we're working on that hopefully will continue to make progress with all the vets. So again, thank you.
What's the status of the monument? I know there are some names being added. Is that on course?
We're waiting on,
Harold?
Yeah.
we're waiting on some estimates, and I can't do anything until it warms up anyhow. We got Fuller Monument and Snyder, and I guess unfortunately Clay has been extremely busy lately, so there's a delay on that.
It's moving ahead.
Pardon?
It's moving ahead.
It is moving ahead. It's not been locked. It will be completed. There's different scenarios that I've sent information to two people working on it. So they're supposed to come back with what they can do and what the cost will be and what it will look like. And working with Frazon on that, and changing the flag structure on the courthouse lawn. We're going to add the POWMIA flag, and they said sometime this summer they're going to add 2 flag poles to remove the Delaware County flag and the Ohio flag from that pole and fly the American flag and POWMIA on a big pole separate. Because, as a lot of people don't know, the only flag authorized by Congress to fly directly with the American flag is the POWMIA memorial flag. So, we just, we asked for it at this spot for many reasons, not at every county location. So, because this is the hub of veteran memorials for Delaware County. So we're just trying to spruce it up and make it a little showplace for the county, for our little corner of the world. So.
Thank you. Again, thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you all. I guess this would be a good time to mention, too, that obviously in the last couple of weeks, we lost, one of the great Vietnam vets in Delaware City.
And not only that, Joe is also a life member of our group,
Right.
And very appreciative of the work he's done, not only for the city but for veterans. As you know, he was instrumental in getting Memorial Park done. And that's partially why we were the honor guard for the dedication of that, because it's all part of our group. We're here to serve, just like you guys. So, and we say thank you for nice once in a while. A lot of people don't get them when they should have them. So.
We do appreciate it. And I'm sure Commissioner Lewis isn't here, obviously, but her husband, Jim, obviously is a member.
Is a life member of our
Of the
chapter.
group, and very supportive of your efforts. So I'll thank you on his behalf and her behalf as well.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay.
Resolution number 17-300, in the matter of approving purchase orders, then and now certificates and payments of warrants in batch number CMA PR 0329, memo transfers and batch numbers MTA PR 0329.
So moved.
Second, discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 17-300. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-301, in the matter of setting date, time, and place for a planning session for the Board of Commissioners and staff.
So moved.
Second, discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 17-301. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-302, adopting a resolution of congratulations to Owen Black upon earning his Eagle Scout Award.
So moved.
Second, discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jane Hawes, Communications Manager. This is a resolution. One of our county employees, Lori Williams, she's in the map room. Her son, Owen Black, earned his Eagle Scout Award because going to school is still more important than coming here. He cannot be with us, so we're putting this forward, though, and I will forward it to the family. So.
Okay, great. We need a vote on that.
Yes.
Okay.
Vote on motion 17-302. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dean.
Resolution number 17-303, in the matter of accepting and approving the Delaware County Sheriff's Office Transport Report for the month of February 2017.
So moved.
Second, discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 17-303. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-304, in the matter of approving travel expense requests.
So moved.
Second, discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 17-304. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-305, in the matter of approving an agreement and addendum between the Delaware County Board of Commissioners, the Delaware County Sheriff, and Aclache Staffing Services.
So moved.
Second, discussion.
Morning, Commissioners. Pam Sonageri, Director of Administrative Services for the Sheriff's Office. The Sheriff's Office would like to utilize the services of Aclache for temporary staffing in order to initiate a document imaging project to backscan all archived personnel files as well as archived concealed handgun licensure files. The goal is to use 2 temporary staffing for a period of 3 to 6 months, depending on how long the project takes.
Okay. Vote.
Vote on motion 17-305. Mr. Merrill? Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-306, in the matter of approving transfer of appropriations for the Delaware County Sheriff's Office.
So moved.
Second, discussion.
Good morning again. As you know, legislation has been updated to allow for concealed handgun licensure funds that are earned by the Sheriff's Office to be purchased now for weapons and ammunition. So I'm before you today asking for a reappropriation of those funds from one object code to another.
Okay. I didn't have any questions about the transfer, but what has happened since January 1st with handgun or concealed carry applications? Has it declined, remained the same, increased?
Oh, that's a great question. Stephanie Burns is here, who is actually in charge of the concealed handgun division, and I'll let her speak to you specifically about that question. Last year, we made significant strides in reducing our wait time and really getting those appointments down to a more manageable point for our citizens that are interested in concealed handgun licensure. Stephanie, would you like to speak a little bit more about that?
Good morning. Right now, our level or amount of licenses are about the same as what we've been doing in the past. like Pam said, last year, we have changed our wait time. We were quite a few weeks out when you made an appointment for CHO, but that has, we've caught that up, and we've seen an increase. So, but we're keeping on top of those.
Okay.
Question.
Good to hear.
I have a question. Mine expires this year. Do you get notification in the mail when they expire, or do you just have to?
No, there's not normally any kind of notification that you get through the mail or anything for that.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, good. Good to see the backlog, because I had heard complaints about
Yeah.
the time it took to do that, so it's
And
good
this-
to see you working on the
And this project will
backlog.
allow everything to be digital now or electronic
that
instead
should
of
help.
having files, several thousand of, paperwork and files. So the temporary project's going to be a great help as well.
Okay. Well, good. Other comments? Ready to take a vote?
Vote on motion 17-306. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution
Thank
number
you.
17-307, in the matter of approving Title 4D contract between the Child Support Enforcement Agency and the Delaware County Sheriff's Office and the Delaware County Domestic Court.
So moved.
Second, discussion.
Good morning, Joyce Bowens, Director of Child Support. Both of these contracts are actually required for us to draw 66% financial reimbursement for costs that we incur here at the agency. The sheriff's contract, actually, we started this probably about 4 years ago, and our deputy Shams that we have has actually been a really great addition to the agency. He helps focus on child support warrants, and he's very hard to hide from. But no, he's been a great asset. The contract this year is actually $25,720.34 than last year. It's lower because the units purchased, we've always used full-time, or we cannot reimburse him full-time, so it's a more actual reflection of what we're reimbursing him. And then the domestic court, this is actually a new contract, but it's not a new contract because of the changes. Now that the stuff that the contract we had with juvenile court will now be with domestic court. And again, based on actual units produced, this contract is $187,000 less than what it was last year. And then with the changes with the new courthouse and everything, we might have to look at amending the contract in June or July, whenever they're all in the same building. So we might have to look at it again then. And I'm requesting your approval.
Okay. Questions? Okay. Vote?
Vote on motion 17-307. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Thank you.
Thanks, Joyce.
Resolution number 17-308, in the matter of authorizing the submitting of an application to the Delaware Morrow Mental Health and Recovery Services Board, the TEAM mentoring program for the Delaware County Juvenile and Probate Court.
So moved.
Second, discussion. Yeah.
Good morning, Karen Watkins from the Juvenile and Probate Court. This teen mentoring program assists 10 to 14-year-olds that are at risk. Last year, we partnered with OWU, and we had 24 youths with 24 college students, just assisting them, taking them over to the university, showing them other ways to entertain themselves, abstaining from drugs and alcohol, and just really reducing their involvement with the court.
What is the source of the funding?
It's through the Delaware Morrow Mental Health Recovery Services Board. It's an agreement that they've had long-standing for more than 10 years.
Okay. Okay.
It's a transfer of funds from them to us.
So this has been a program that's been in existence for a while
Correct.
with your group. Okay. Vote?
Vote on motion 17-308. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-309, in the matter of approving transfer of appropriations for juvenile court.
So moved.
Second, discussion.
This is our SVA. It's the state-funded portion of our VOCA grant. It's a pre-awarded fund, so this is funds that we did not spend last year, and we need to return to them.
Okay. Vote?
Vote on motion 17-309. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Resolution number 17-310, in the matter of declaring personal property obsolete, unfit, or not needed for public use in the intent of selling such property via internet auction or disposal of property of no value.
So moved.
Second.
Man, we just cleared the crowd out and
Cleared the room, Mike.
I know. I wish I had a more complicated title to one of my things for Sarah, but I don't.
It was pretty entertaining.
Good morning, Commissioners. Mike Fromer, sanitary engineer. We had a building that we're going to be repurposing to keep our asset in parts down at OEC, and there was a lot of equipment, or some pumps that had been decommissioned 10, 15 years ago, things like that. So we're recommending that we go forward with putting it on the internet auction, and if not, disposing of it. So.
Okay. All right, vote.
Vote on motion 17-310. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-311, in the matter of approving an agreement between the Delaware County Board of Commissioners and Southern Sales Company for the purchase of goods for the pump station upgrade project at the solid waste transfer station.
So moved.
Second. Discussion.
We have a pump station out at the transfer station that is a duplex, and we are going to be replacing those pumps. We're actually going to be doing the work with our own staff, replacing it. Actually, the two pumps have recently quit in the last couple of weeks, and we have a temporary one in, so we're working quickly to get in these new ones. We also got some different proposals for this, and this was the lowest proposal. So.
Okay. Vote.
Vote on motion 17-311. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-312, in the matter of approving sanitary sewer developers agreement for off-site sanitary sewer and force main improvements for the reserves at Scioto Glen Phase 1.
So moved.
Second. Discussion.
This subdividers agreement is a standard agreement, and it's for some off-site improvements to support some additional growth out in the Scioto Reserve area.
Okay. Vote.
Vote on motion 17-312. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Thank you.
That brings us to administrative reports.
Morning, Commissioners. Yesterday, we had a meeting in Engineer Bosman's office with the village of Sunbury, and the village was interested in exploring an agreement with the county to address development along Wilson Road because of the fact that we don't know when that southern interchange is going to come, and there are people who are interested in developing. Our concern from the county's side is if we open it up, then we cannot control the amount of development that goes there, and that further degrades 36. So the village understands our concern. We understand the village's concern in spurring development, so we're going to work with them on some sort of an agreement, and as the framework for that agreement is developed, I'll brief you and let you know what's going on. Yesterday was the first meeting.
Will they be getting sewer out to that area? I assume they're going to be providing the sewer? Is that...
The area that is in question, Mike, I believe we already have sewer there, don't we? Next to the outlet mall.
Is it north of 3637?
South.
South.
Yeah,
We already.
Is the goal that we're going to be providing sewer there, or is Sunbury going to provide sewer there?
We had initial discussions with the village, but I haven't had any follow-up discussions.
The only reason I raise the question, obviously, opening up the road is one thing, but the sewer is going to be an important part of that. I'm just curious.
When we had that discussion with the village, we actually looked at certain quadrants where it made sense for the county to provide because we are not too far from there, and I think we were almost looking at that future interchange as the dividing line. So yeah, all of those will be part of that development agreement.
Interchange of Island Vista is east of interchange, correct?
No, as in
We're
the
talking
future
about-
interchange. As in the roads that are built for the future interchange, that would be the north-south dividing line.
We'll get more information on that as you...
Oh, yes, absolutely, yeah. Yesterday, there was a story in the newspaper that Delaware County is now the healthiest, once again. I think it said once again.
Third year in a row.
Yeah, once again, the healthiest county in the state. That's a good thing.
So we're not the fastest growing anymore.
Yeah, I actually...
County passed us by a little bit.
I got an email from Eric Richter, who's my counterpart in Union County and with whom I've developed a friendship. He said, "Are we still friends?" I said, "Yeah, we are." "Yeah, we are, but you're going to have to start sharing."
It's my contention that for Zon, because he runs marathons, he's put us over the top. He's keeping us simple.
Well, we've got plenty in the county. We've got, Megan, we've got, a couple of people in Mike's office, a couple of people in the IT area. We got a lot of people.
So they're all responsible.
Chris Hodge.
Yeah. She runs?
Oh, yeah. We actually have the same doctor because we have the same types of injuries.
Thank you. Great. Commissioner Merrill?
I had just a couple things. Regional planning's tonight at 6:30, and in fact, I have a meeting at 5:30 in front of that, and we're meeting out in that area just because of the location. Joyce was here a while ago. She and I were in a meeting this Monday at lunch for a fatherhood initiative. There's a $10,000 grant that there's work being done on how to, I'm trying to think how to frame this, help fathers who may be at risk or maybe have not had good modeling in the past, how we help them to be better fathers. And there's a grant that we're having conversation about how to use that grant to get maximum value or benefit. And we had a meeting at lunch Monday for that purpose. Another meeting will occur in the latter part of April. And that's all I have today.
Okay, just a couple other things. We had an investment committee meeting at 9 this morning. Again, that we've talked before, but the county's investment portfolio is doing very well. The yields are up. It's very well managed and appropriately managed, so good news there. The ODOT has an open house tomorrow from 11 to 2, I think it is, at their headquarters here, the District 6 on East William. So I've never been in that building, so I'm actually just not.
I asked a question, for some you may be able to answer this. Unfortunately, I have an 11:30 luncheon. If I come at 1 o'clock, a little late, is that a problem? Or?
No, it's an open house.
It's open house, so I may just, after lunch, just head that direction, but I couldn't move the lunch.
I can send an email to Tom and Tom Slack and tell him, can you just wait till Commissioner Merrill shows
Well, I
up?
wouldn't want you to wait on me, but I didn't want to be disruptive if I came late.
Who would be attending typically? Will Jack be there? Marshman?
Jack will probably be there, if not for all of the time, then most of the time. Tom Slack, who's the head of engineering there, it's his area. Somebody from ORPS who's typically there. And then they invite all the locals within the area. So there'll be people from other might people from other counties as well.
Would a lot of residents come, just out of interest?
Probably not. Probably not. Usually don't. There are some people who like to stay very engaged, and they will show up, but typically they don't.
Okay. Well, it should be interesting. We've got a Delaware Morrow Mental Health and Recovery Services Board meeting. I should have Sarah say that. That was a long one.
See, it's rough, isn't it?
Legislator meeting tomorrow at Source Point. That's always interesting. We've got 2 o'clock. There's a couple board openings that Jane just posted. I'd like to encourage individuals to apply for. It's the DKMM Solid Waste District Policy Committee has an opening, and then the Convention and Visitors Bureau for Delaware County has an opening as well. So I would encourage everyone to participate in those groups. There's interesting stuff going on in both places. That's all I've got, and I don't think we have executive session. So that's it. We are adjourned.